Hey guys, Angus here. Got another Airsoft video for you guys today. Today we do have a chronograph to do, and that chronograph is going to be of a very cool gun. The gun we're going to be chronoing today is the ASG/Dan Wesson CO2 powered Airsoft revolver. This being the 6-inch barreled version, also in the gray coloring. You can also purchase it, I believe, in a 4-inch barreled version, as well as an 8-inch, and also with a chrome or silver color. But as I stated, 6-inch gray model shown here. Now, first off, if you guys are interested in purchasing this product, there is a link down below in the description to airsoftStation.com where you can buy it for about $120. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into some of the details of the chronograph. This runs off of 12-gram CO2 cartridges that are stored inside the gun's grip, and we have a fresh one in there. This gun has a reputation for the first couple shots coming out of the cartridge to be fairly hot at over 400 feet per second, so we'll see that in a few seconds. As for what we'll be shooting, we have our 6 shells loaded up with 0.2 gram BBs. So let's go ahead, see how hard the Dan Wesson revolver is shooting. Alright, so we have the X-Tech chronograph set up. Let's see how hard the Dan Wesson revolver is shooting. Again, this is a fresh CO2 cartridge with only 8 shots fired out of it so far. Let's see how hard this gun shoots. 498.5. 430.2, more reasonable. 421.7. 424.6. 437.2. And 434.1 feet per second. So we're seeing a very hard FPS out of this gun, again on a fresh cartridge. Let's go to another reading, which is actually going to show you this gun in a dumbed down sort of FPS after quite a few shots taken. Alright, so I've taken a few more shots off of the revolver. It's also gotten a little bit colder out, so let's see how hard the gun is shooting now that it's dumbed down a little bit. Again, this is with .2s. 405.7, 413.3, 413.3, 396.7, coming down a little bit, 317.3, that's got to be a fluke. And we're out of BBs. So dumbing down a little bit, it seems you're going to end up in maybe the 380 to 390 feet per second area. I'm not sure what's up with the 317 there. I believe that was just a fluke. Let's go to the final conclusion of this chronograph. Alright, so now for the final conclusion of this chronograph. Now, this gun is shooting pretty hot, which is going to be expected being that it's running off of CO2. One thing I'd also like to note is that this chronograph was done in 40-degree weather, which CO2s typically work a little bit better in colder weather, and still, wow, this gun's shooting pretty hard out in this weather. Now, first reading, we have right off of the fresh CO2 cartridge, we're seeing right around the, I think the first shot was up at 500, and then it dumbed down to the 430, the 420 area, which is, you know, still pretty hard for a sidearm. When we move to after a couple shots, shot off the gun, got a little bit colder, we're seeing at first 410, 415 feet per second, and then it dumbs down into the 404, the 390 feet per second range, and the last one of 317, which I'm almost certain is a fluke. I believe after quite a bit of shooting, this gun will dumb down eventually till its main FPS area is around the 380, 390 area, and as it gets lower and lower, almost running out, I think it'll end up about the 350, 360 feet per second. So this gun is shooting certainly very, very hard for a sidearm. That's due to its CO2 propellant as opposed to running off of green gas or propane. This gun's definitely going to shoot a lot harder. So with that being said, guys, this has been Deathcore Airsoft's chronograph of the ASG/Dan Wesson CO2 powered revolver. It's a hot shooting sidearm, definitely one you guys might want if you're out there in the field and just want something to give somebody a pop with 6 shots or less. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe.